Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. You know we love to take your suggestions, so today we're tackling a topic I'm sure many of you are familiar with, burnout. I'm talking about that feeling of just complete and utter exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
You flagged a great YouTube video for us to really dig into. It's called Signs You're Burnout, Not Lazy, with a little headphone emoji, podcast and chill, with another little emoji, beginner, from the LEP Learn English podcast channel.
Catchy.
So in this deep dive, we're going to really dissect this video and see what we can learn about burnout, what it looks like in our lives, and most importantly, what we can do about it.
This is good.
So right off the bat, the video points out something really interesting. It's how easy it is to misinterpret the signs of burnout.
Oh, absolutely.
You just feel exhausted and irritable, and you think, oh, I'm just having a rough week. I'm just being lazy.
You just power through.
But the video emphasizes that burnout is not just a temporary slump. It's way more than that.
Yeah, it really sets the stage by acknowledging how easy it is to brush off those feelings.
Right.
I think that's so important because you need to know what you're dealing with before you can address it.
Exactly. I know I've definitely been there where I felt totally drained and just kept pushing myself harder, thinking I just needed more discipline or willpower.
Yeah, we've all been there.
But this video really highlights the fact that burnout is a completely different beast.
It is.
They define it as this prolonged exposure to stress that ultimately leads to extreme exhaustion, a super negative outlook, and this feeling of being unproductive, like you're just spinning your wheels.
Right, and they bring up psychologist Christina Maslach, who describes burnout as this combination of feeling depleted, like you have nothing left.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of her.
Losing your drive and motivation and feeling like you're not accomplishing anything no matter how hard you try.
So it's not just about needing a good night's sleep.
No, it's much deeper than that.
Though that is often a symptom. It's this prolonged period of stress that fundamentally changes your emotional and mental state.
It really does.
Yeah.
What really struck me were the specific signs of burnout they listed.
Yeah.
That brain fog, like you can't think straight.
Oh, yeah.
Zero motivation, even for things you used to enjoy, feeling emotionally checked out, like nothing matters.
Right.
And this exhaustion that just doesn't go away no matter how much you sleep.
Have you ever experienced any of those yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Especially that feeling of just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Like you're physically present, but mentally you're just gone.
Yeah, you're somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And they had this really powerful way of describing that extreme exhaustion.
Yeah.
Running on autopilot, except the pilot is asleep and the plane is on fire.
Wow.
That really paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like this really vivid image of pushing yourself to the limit when you have nothing left.
While running on fumes?
Exactly. And the plane's on fire. That's not a sustainable way to live.
And that brings us to another crucial point the video makes about how sneaky burnout can be.
Oh, it's so insidious.
It's not like you wake up one day and bam, you're burnt out.
Right.
It's this slow, gradual process of wearing down from accumulated stress.
You just don't realize how bad it is until it's too late.
Exactly. You might not even realize how fatigued you are until you hit a wall.
They use that analogy of the camel's back breaking from one too many straws.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
It's a simple but effective way to illustrate how these seemingly small stressors can build up over time, and suddenly you just break.
It all becomes too much. So we've talked about what burnout is and how it sneaks up on us, but what causes it.
Right.
The video dives into some of the main culprits, and it's no surprise that work plays a huge role.
No surprise there.
They talk about work overload when the demands of your job just constantly exceed what you can realistically handle.
It's like you're always drowning in to-dos and deadlines.
Right, and they even throw in a little joke about blaming the boss.
Right, they try to keep it light, but it's a serious issue.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're constantly facing more tasks, tighter deadlines, and bigger responsibilities than you can handle, that pressure is going to lead to burnout.
Absolutely. And it's not just the amount of work.
Right.
It's also about that work-life balance or lack thereof.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
When your job starts to bleed into your personal life and take over your free time, that's a big red flag.
It's like you're always on.
Right, and the video contrasts this with those unrealistic portrayals in romantic comedies.
Oh, yeah.
Where everyone's effortlessly juggling these high-powered careers with perfect relationships and vibrant social lives.
They make it look so easy.
Right. But the reality is much different.
Way different.
They point out how easy it is for that quick email check after dinner to turn into hours of work.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Those boundaries between work and life just blur.
And it's that constant intrusion that really grinds you down over time.
It really does.
Eh.
Have you seen that a lot in your own experience?
Oh, definitely. It's a common struggle I see all the time. People feel like they can never truly disconnect.
It's so important to set those boundaries.
Absolutely. Another factor they highlight is lack of recognition.
Hmm.
You're putting in all this effort, going the extra mile, but you don't feel valued or appreciated for it.
And that can be so demotivating.
It is.
It's not just physically draining, it's emotionally and mentally draining too.
Right. You feel like you're giving, 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 but not getting anything back.
Exactly. They use this really clever analogy of Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
You're like the Wi-Fi you're constantly relied on, but only notice when you're not working or something's wrong.
I get it.
That lack of positive reinforcement can really take a toll and contribute to those feelings of burnout.
Like you're just expected to always be on and functioning perfectly.
Right.
Then there's the issue of unrealistic expectations.
Oh yeah, we're all guilty of that.
I know. I've definitely set the bar way too high for myself in the past.
We all have. And the higher you aim, the harder you fall.
Right. It's a double-edged sword. You want to strive for excellence.
Absolutely.
But constantly chasing an unattainable ideal can lead to burnout.
It's about finding that balance between pushing yourself and being kind to yourself.
Right?
The last factor they touch on is negative surroundings.
Okay.
Being around toxic or negative people can really drain your energy.
It can bring you down.
They make a funny distinction between toxic Britney Spears, like an unhealthy obsession,
Oh, yeah.
and genuinely negative influences in your life.
Yeah.
But that constant exposure to negativity really does add up and contributes to stress and burnout.
Okay, so we've covered what burnout is, what causes it, but what can we do about it?
That's the million-dollar question.
The video offers some really practical solutions and strategies. First up, real rest.
Ah, yes.
And they make a clear distinction between just zoning out in front of a screen, which they call doom scrolling,
Oh, yeah, I'm guilty of that.
and genuine downtime that allows your brain to actually switch off and recharge.
You know that deep restorative rest?
Right. So they suggest things like actually turning off notifications, putting your phone away, stepping away from screens, and engaging in activities that are truly restorative.
Like what kind of things?
Like taking a walk, reading a physical book,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even just sitting in silence for a few minutes.
That sounds nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Just giving your mind a chance to reset.
It's so important.
And speaking of resetting, they talk about the importance of setting boundaries,
Oh, yes.
which I know can be tough for a lot of people.
It can be.
But it's about learning to say no when you're already at your limit.
Protecting your time and energy.
Exactly. And the video addresses that fear of appearing lazy or uncommitted.
Right.
You know, I don't want to let anyone down, but I'm drowning.
Yeah.
But they emphasize that taking time to rest isn't being lazy. It actually makes you more productive in the long run.
It prevents burnout, which is
Yeah.
definitely not productive.
Right. If you're running on fumes, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be as efficient.
You're not going to be your best self.
Exactly. They even have this great line.
What is it?
If you don't set boundaries, burnout will set them for you.
And those boundaries are not going to be pretty.
Not at all. That brings us to the idea of working smarter, not harder.
Okay. I like that.
Shifting away from that constant hustle mentality
Right.
to a more sustainable way of working.
Yeah. What does that look like?
They introduce a technique called the Pomodoro technique,
Okay.
which is basically working in focused 25-minute intervals with short 5-minute breaks in between.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, the idea is that these structured breaks help you maintain your focus, reduce stress, and avoid that feeling of crashing at the end of the day.
So you're not just pushing yourself to the limit until you burn out.
Exactly. Have you ever tried any time management techniques like that?
I've heard of the Pomodoro technique, but I haven't really given it a go. Maybe I should.
Yeah, it might be worth a shot.
Yeah.
And beyond work strategies, they also emphasize prioritizing self-care.
Self-care. Yes.
And they're clear that self-care is not just about passively consuming content.
Oh, yeah. Not just scrolling through social media.
Right. It's about actively engaging in activities that you genuinely enjoy and that help you unwind and recharge.
Things that nourish your mind, body, and soul.
Exactly. So what are some of your favorite self-care activities?
Oh, I love going for hikes in nature. Reading a good book, spending time with loved ones.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I love to cook.
Oh, nice.
It's very therapeutic for me.
Yeah, it's all about finding those activities that truly help you de-stress and recharge.
Exactly. And for those who might be feeling really overwhelmed by burnout, they recommend seeking professional help.
Oh, that's so important.
This could be talking to a therapist, a career counselor, or even someone who's been through burnout themselves.
Right.
They acknowledge that therapy can be expensive,
Yeah, unfortunately.
but they emphasize the value of getting professional guidance and support to help you recover.
It's an investment in your well-being.
Exactly. And the video also highlights the importance of human connection.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of just relying on digital communication like texts and emails, actually making an effort to connect with people in person.
Face to face.
Yeah,
It makes a difference.
it does. Whether it's friends, family, or even supportive colleagues, those face-to-face interactions can really help alleviate stress and combat feelings of isolation.
It reminds you that you're not alone in this.
Exactly. And they even suggest joining groups or communities focused on work-life balance,
Yeah.
so you can connect with people who understand what you're going through.
Share your experiences and support each other.
Right.
I love that.
And towards the end of the video, they have this helpful segment where they explain some common phrases related to burnout.
Oh, yeah, that was
Or like
interesting.
point finger, run oneself into the ground, hit rock bottom, rub off on, have one's plate full.
It's interesting to think about the language we use to describe these experiences.
It is. And they wrap things up by revisiting those two key questions they posed at the beginning.
Okay.
Why is burnout so hard to recognize?
Right.
Because it sneaks up on you.
It's so gradual.
And what's one effective strategy for recovery?
Setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
That's a good one.
So to sum up our deep dive into this really insightful video, it's clear that burnout is a serious condition.
It is.
It's caused by prolonged stress.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is it's not a life sentence.
Right.
The video does a great job of highlighting those warning signs, those contributing factors.
Mm-hmm.
But it also offers hope by emphasizing that it's not something you just have to live with.
You can recover.
You can recover. And their main message is really simple. Burnout is not just being tired.
Right.
It's this deep-rooted stress that completely drains you.
Mentally, emotionally, physically.
Everything. And their advice is clear and actionable. Set boundaries, take real breaks, not just mindless scrolling.
Put the phone down.
Put the phone down, step away from the screens.
Go outside.
Go outside, connect with nature, connect with people.
Exactly.
So for you, our listener, if anything in this discussion has resonated with you, if you're feeling those signs of burnout,
Don't ignore them.
don't ignore them. Make it a priority to get the rest you need.
Absolutely.
Reach out for support, whether it's friends, family, a therapist, whoever you trust.
And make those changes before it's too late.
Right. You don't have to suffer in silence.
They even say suffering alone is overrated.
So true. So reach out. Talk to someone.
It could make all the difference.
It really could.
So to leave you with one final thought, I want you to think about all the different things that are stressing you out right now.
All those metaphorical straws.
Exactly. And ask yourself, what's one small break, one boundary that you can put in place this week?
Just one small step towards a more sustainable, healthier pace.
You don't have to do everything at once. Just start small.
One step at a time.
One straw at a time.
One straw at a time.